David Henderson now, civil rights attorney, former prosecutor, and now CNBC contributor. David, thanks so much. What do you make of the opening statements today? Did one side or the other stand out in your estimation?
The prosecution stood out, though there are problems with the reason why. It's harder to summarize it better than it was in your opening when you said one side says it's murder, the other side says he did it to himself. The only issue is that the prosecution brought in a private lawyer to handle the opening statement, which reflects that they don't have full faith in their trial team.
You know, the prosecuting attorney repeatedly emphasized that 9 minutes, 29 seconds over and over again as he knelt on George Floyd's neck. The defense says the case is about much more than that, just that chunk of time. Whose opening more encapsulated things? Who had the better?
The prosecution did. And I think that what you just said puts in perspective why. What you want to do with an opening statement is you want it to read kind of like the back cover of the book, let people know what you plan for the evidence to unfold. You walk away with a clear theme from the prosecution's opening, 9 minutes, 29 seconds. The defense was muddled. It's hard to tell exactly where they're going. That's why I give the win to the prosecution.
But the defense says that going forward, they're going to emphasize the now dead man's drug use and other activities, that they're going to try to make the case that, in essence, this is of his own making.
And again, I'll turn back to the way the prosecution handled a very delicate subject, which is you have a police officer on trial for using excessive force, and yet they praised the Minneapolis Police Department during the opening statement and told them what to expect. When you fling mud at someone, as ironic as this sounds, you have to do it politely in a courtroom. And the defense has not managed doing that in a way that's not going to backfire on them if we base it on their opening statement.
A way to make enemies. One more thing. You've been in courtrooms in situations similar to this. Was there a moment today where David, the prosecutor, went, that worked?
I think it's when they played. Well, what they did well is they said what the video was going to show. We've all seen that video. We're familiar with it. But the way they showed it and emphasized the points of view that would be offered from individuals who actually saw what was happening as it took place was effective. That's where the heart of their case is. They also did a really good job of taking the wins out of the defendant's sails. I think that's part of the reason why we got that muddled opening from the defense.
And finally, David, for the defense, to get that wind back or to catch it in the first place, what do they need to do?
They need to focus on listening to the witnesses that the prosecution presents, think of intelligent ways to cross-examine them, and then the silver bullet to their case is that 2019 arrest video that the judge is allowing in. That does hurt the state's case if you play it the right way. And on top of all this, Chauvin has to take the stand.
David Henderson, thank you. Shepard Smith here. Thanks for watching CNBC on YouTube.